Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 52 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to talk about how I scaled to 52 units while working a full-time job. So whenever I tell people that I own 52 units, no partners, no raising money, all by myself, all working a full-time W-2, the first reaction is, how? How is that possible? Because people view it as a full-time job and a full-time gig. And for me, I kind of been reflecting on my journey a little bit. And, I scaled to 52 units over about 8 years. At one point, I had 90 units of real estate when I owned my mobile home park. But I ended up selling that for a loss because it was a bad deal, bad property management. I have a whole video talking about it. But I was able to scale to 90 units, current day 52 units, while working full time as a pharmacist. And people ask me how. So for me, I didn't really think much of it. Like when I first bought my first deal back in 2017, it was a house hack property. And I bought the house 10% down in California, high cost of living area, the Bay Area. And I basically just lived in the master and rented out the other 3 bedrooms. And I remember at the time, I didn't really know much. I just posted my rooms on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, and people would message me. I'd call them, I'd screen them. If they're good, then I would, offer them to move in, collect a security deposit, and then start collecting rents. So it was very baby steps. Like I would literally just go home from work. I worked, 9 to 5, and then I'd come home, and then from 5 to 9, I would have tenants come over and check out the property and basically screen them. So I didn't really think too much of it, right? Or on the weekend when I was off, they would go view the property. So like it with that model, it didn't take that much time. Like people would like email me, message me, and then I can just message whenever I had a free moment at work, and then I would just coordinate a date and time that was after work to meet them. So I did that, for my first 4 properties. Like I literally just, when I bought my second home in San Francisco, once again, I house hacked it 10% down. I lived in the master bedroom, rented out the 2 other bedrooms in the upper unit, and on the lower unit, I'd rent out to like 4 college students. And once again, I just would post the ad, and after work, I would then just show the units to the tenants. So it wasn't like too complicated. I kind of worked it around my schedule, and it's some sacrifice, right? Like maybe I was sacrificing me watching TV, but I think it was that hard because I was already living there. I just had to like literally just open the door and show them the room, talk to them for like 30 minutes to an hour, and if I like them, I just say, hey, these are the document requirements, like send it over to me, and we can review it. And then if everything looks good, then you can move forward with moving into this property or moving into this room. So, and then I remember I had to rent out my last home, and once again, I just had to post it on like Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, and then on the weekends, I would have to drive there to show up the rooms. And if I had to drive somewhere, I would batch them. So I would batch like every hour I'd have a showing. So I'd have a showing at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., knowing that people may no show, which is very common. So I would try to batch it. So I always just tried to like make it efficient and work around my lifestyle, right? And then that was kind of my model for single family home. And honestly, like my tenants that I had for single family homes, it's the same tenant I've had since I've owned them. So like there's not much turnover. And when there's not much turnover, it doesn't require that much time for single family homes that I self manage. So like at most they might text me something's broken. I'll just text the handyman and they'll go fix it, right? Or I'll submit a request and they'll fix it, right? Or if an appliance breaks, I just order through Costco, and then Costco will go there, deliver it, install it, and take out the old unit. So it's super easy, right? Like it's super easy. Um, I do have my dad that can help me in the Bay Area where like, he could help fix things here and there or coordinate with like some handyman that he knows. But like other than that, not much time. Like it's rare. It's like it comes in waves. Like I had a water heater break in my San Francisco house. I just, bought the water heater, had it delivered to the house, and then the handyman went there and installed it, right? Like you just have to coordinate things. The busiest is when the tenants leave, and then you have to like clean up the unit, show the unit, screen tenants. That's when it's annoying. But if it's the same tenant, which I've had, it doesn't require much work. That's why I try to treat my tenants very well, and I try to keep my rents about 10% below market because I want them to stay. right? Because if it's a turnover, I have to fix up the unit, which costs money. It costs like 2 or 3 months to like renovate or to rent it out. So now you're losing rental income, right? And if you're getting $4,000 a month in rent and you're vacant for 3 months, that's $12K. So for me, I try to like minimize turnover if possible. So let's fast forward um, into my apartment in my mobile home park, which was more labor intensive, I would say. So I don't have any partners, right? I don't raise any capital. It's all my own capital. So I did a huge cash out refinance on my single family homes that I bought. They appreciate on average about $500,000 each, times it by 4 or 5 properties. It's $2 million of equity doing nothing besides owning the property. And, hindsight's 2020, but, during COVID, interest rates dropped. I refinanced my rates to save money, and the home value skyrocketed because people were overpaying because interest rates were low. So I pulled out a bunch of money, and talking to lenders isn't as difficult as you think it is. Like, they ask for the same stuff. They ask for your tax return. They ask for your lease, your lease agreements, your insurance statements, your mortgage statements, your property taxes, your pay stub. It's just basic documents. So like after you talk to one lender, I just save a folder like in a Dropbox, and then I have all my documents in there. And then whenever I email the lender, I just send them all my documents out the gate. So you have to get like very efficient in how you do that. But once you go multifamily, like you said, same thing. They might ask for a personal financial statement. They might ask for your a real estate resume. And once you know that, you already have it prepared. They're going to ask for the T12. They're going to ask for the rent roll. It's easy, basic stuff. But anyways, like once I started trying to find my own off-market deal, it's a little bit more time intensive. So I had to like set up my direct mailing campaign and basically send out letters every month, 300 letters a month. And the busy work is when they call you back. And when you start calling back, you have to talk to the owners. It may take you 30 minutes, it may take you an hour every conversation. But I'm trying to get information about the property. I'm trying to get financials so I can get it to my lender. I sent to my lender. You talk to your lender for 30 minutes to an hour to explain, okay, what's the offer price? What's the value add strategy? What are the renovation costs? What's the proposed rents? What's the new value, right? And then you basically repeat this process until you finally get one under contract. And once you get one under contract, you're going to due diligence, right? You have to do a full property inspection. You might have to fly out there to do the inspection. The lenders will ask for questions. Title will ask for questions. So you have to just constantly give documents. So at this point, it's a little busier. Maybe you're spending 20 hours a week, right? So if you're on a lunch break, if you have a little break at work, if it's while you're driving to work in the morning, because for me, I was buying properties in Oklahoma. I live in California, so we're 2 hours behind. So if it's 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., it's 8 a.m. over there. So I do calls in the morning. I do calls on my commute to work. I do calls on my commute back from work, right? So every little ounce of time you have to optimize it around your lifestyle, right? So if I'm an hour commute every day, I have an hour, 2 hours to talk to lenders. I have 2 hours to talk to owners. I have time to make offers, right? So basically from there, once you take the deal down, you have to screen your property manager. You have to find a general contractor. This takes time. Once again, 1 hour conversations, 30-minute conversations. And once you find your property manager and once you find your contractor, it gets easy. You just tell them what you want, right? Like, this is what I want. But in the beginning, you're going to have to talk to them, touch base with them multiple times a week to say, hey, how's the renovation going? Can you show me one model home? Like, what's your vision of the renovation? Right? And at that point, until you're done renovating, once they know what you like, at that point it gets easier because I just say, hey, one of these units ready. When is the next batch? 5 ready. Because we renovate all units the same. All units will be exactly the same. So once I've done like 1 or 2 units, I know what the rest are going to look like. It just copy and paste. Economies of scale, right? It gets easier over time. So at that point, I just need to know, okay, how many units are you renovating? When are they ready? And when are they rented out? That's all I ask, right? Now, so basically this is the stabilization, right? So, okay, you finished 5 units. They're done. They're rented out. Move on to the next 5. So this one gets more passive, right? So at this point, once you kind of know the rhythm of renovation, then maybe my time commitment is maybe 3 to 5 hours a week on just renovations, right? But my problem is I had a 26 unit I was renovating, I had a 20 unit I was renovating, and I had a mobile home park that I was renovating, and I had a different property manager for each one. and I had a different contractor for each one. So it requires more conversations, right? So times it by 3. So it took maybe 5 hours per one property by 3 of them, 3 active renovations. So it took me 15 hours, right? But imagine if you had one property manager, one general contractor renovating 2 of your apartment complex or 3 of my apartment complexes. It's just one conversation for 3 properties. That's why I want to scale with my best property manager and my best general contractor. So, and that's how I want to do it moving forward while working full-time W-2, right? So to kind of summarize all this, in the beginning, if you're doing single family homes, time commitment, it's not too much, right? If you're buying turnkey real estate, not much renovation, not much time. But once you're starting to do renovations, it's going to be a little more labor and time intensive. You're going to have to follow up with your contractor. You're going to have to get updates. You're going to have to talk to your property manager, how the renovation is going. But the busiest time is when you're sending direct mail, you're talking to brokers, talking to lenders, making offers. And then after that, it's doing due diligence. And after that, it's taking over the property. So you're going to transfer utilities over to your name, to your LLC, right? Water utilities, gas, electric, getting insurance, right? So it's a little busy work in the beginning. But now, like fast forward to today, it's stabilized. I probably spend 2 hours a month on my 52-unit real estate portfolio that cash flows $10K a month net after all expenses, right? And that's enough to replace my pharmacist's income. So it's just viewed it as like a part-time job while you're in the stabilization phase. But after you finish the stabilization phase, it's almost like I don't even think about my property sometimes unless something happens, right? Like if I have a plumbing issue, then I have to think about it. But other than that, I don't really think about it. So that's how I was able to get to 52 units at 1.90 units while working a full-time W-2, no partners, no team, no help, just me, myself, and I. And why I'm sharing that is I want to make it known that it's possible for you to do it, right? I wouldn't recommend doing 3 renovations at the same time like me, right? Unless it's the same contractor and it's the same property manager. If it's 3 separate ones, that's 3 separate phone calls. I wouldn't do that ever again. I just would buy one at a time, unless I get 2 amazing deals at the same time, in which case I'll do 2, but it has to be the same property manager is the key point. So it is possible, right? Like you can do it yourself. You don't need a team. But know that maybe we won't be as big. Like obviously if I had a team, if I was a syndicator, I could have more units, but that comes with other different stressors. I'm talking about owning multifamily yourself, no partners, no one to report to, no investors to report to. You're using your own capital. Maybe you can get private money lenders, interest only, don't give up equity. And you just need a couple of these deals that you own to be financially free, right? Like if you get one really good deal, that's enough to replace your W-2 income, depending on how much you make, right? I make a little bit more. I live in expensive areas. I need more money. But if I didn't make as much and I live in a cheaper area, that's one multifamily deal is enough to replace my job. So is the pain worth it? Yes. Is the sacrifice worth it? Yes. And at this point, I still do all the above. Like I can still hang out with friends. I'm still watching Netflix. I'm still watching sports, but I'm just allocating some time for real estate and it gets easier. Like if I were to buy another apartment complex in Oklahoma City near my 26 unit, that I know for that renovation, it's not going to take me as much time because I'll just say, hey, just copy my other 26 unit. The same exact renovation, the same exact team. They know exactly what to do. It might just be a little bit different layout in terms of the unit, but that's the power of economies of scale in multifamily. And that's why I'm kind of passively looking for apartments right now. But when I'm ready to look aggressively, I'm going to send out my direct mail. I'm going to make offers. Right now, I'm just looking on Zillow, Redfin, making offers casually. But I know that deals aren't made on Zillow or Redfin. But hey, who knows? I might get one and it's going to cost me no money. So anyways, hopefully this inspires you to know that it's possible to scale to like 50 units while working a full-time job. And it's okay to take your time because you just need a couple of these deals to be financially free. And I'm only 35. If I get one deal every 5 years, that's enough, right? That's enough. That's more than enough. Anyways, let me know what questions you have. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to join my mentorship program, click on my link tree down below. From there, you can see my courses, my coaching. And if you want to email if you want a discount, sorry, my email is in my link tree as well. Click on that, send me an email. I'm happy to give you a discount code. And also, I have a newsletter, so please click on that. Please subscribe to that as well. Otherwise, hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.